Cavaliers are NBA champions.
The drought is over. The curse destroyed. 52 years of torment and anguish has been washed away.
This is what it was about. This is what it was about right here, man. Right here, man.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Malcolm the GOAT. Welcome back to another episode of Ball with MTG, episode 27. Yeah, 27. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics of all time, the 2016 NBA Finals. This is my favorite, legit one of my favorite topics, because it's just such a underdog story. But no, so guys, before we get started, Buzzsprout is an amazing resource that you guys can use to start your own podcast. I have a link in the description below. You'll be able to get all of your podcasts listed on all the major streaming services, such as the Apple Podcasts, the Spotifys, the iHeartRadios of the world, everything that you need to be successful in the podcasting industry. But yeah, guys, I'll have a description below for that. But yeah, Ball with MTG. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to this video. Leave me a rating on my podcast, on Apple, on Spotify, guys. What else can we do? Make sure you follow me on all social medias, Ball with MTG. We need to get that following page up. What else? We need to get everything, my personal Instagram. Yeah, so guys, make sure we follow everything, get everything going. So without further ado, Ball with MTG starts now. Okay guys, so episode 27, Ball with MTG. Let's just set the scene. So now we're in the 2016 season. NBA season has just ended. Golden State has just ran off with the most wonderful season put together by an NBA team, even outlasting the 96 Chicago Bulls and 72-10 Chicago Bulls. So with 73-9, winning one more game than they did. No, it was just all quest for the championship. And you know, a lot of people were saying, oh, it means nothing without a ring, and I completely agree. I'm one of those guys that, you know, your greatness is determined in postseason play, rings, and yes, I am one of those guys. Regular season really doesn't mean that much to me, honestly. But yeah, regular season honestly doesn't mean anything to me. Like, we see a lot of these players like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Paul George. All these players have great seasons, regular seasons, but when it's come times for the postseason, some of these players just do not show up or just cannot get the job done. So it was the stage was set for the Golden State and they were just coming back off their first championship, which I still think they should have won. They got lucky with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love going down the first year. If they had Kyrie and Kevin Love, Cleveland we would have been talking about back-to-back champions. And let's make that very, very clear. If Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were healthy, Cleveland would have been back-to-back champions. Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving went down game one. K-Love was out for the whole series. And LeBron really dominated the whole entire way. He just really picked that Golden State defense apart, led in every major statistical category for both teams. But this is not about the 2015 NBA Finals. This is about the 2016 NBA Finals. But nah, yeah, it's just that they would have been back-to-back, in my opinion. But no, so we see Golden State just kind of ease their way until they get to the conference finals against the OKC Thunder. They go down 3-1 and have to make their own 3-1 comeback of their own, and just the process of getting there and 73-9. I'm not gonna say like it was because they were tired and everything like that. I mean, because they have played the most amount of games in the past couple of years in this point in time. Besides LeBron James, that team was playing the most basketball. Besides LeBron, that team was playing the most basketball. So yeah, they just had a wild couple of years, and coming into stardom, really taken over by storm. And they really came off a 3-1 lead that they had to overcome as well. So it was just kind of dope to see that. But yeah, so that they come in defeating. It means, like I said, the regular season means the 73-9 means nothing without the ring. So they come in and honestly take 3 games away from OKC. Obviously, a couple of those games were winnable games. Game 6, Klay obviously came into action. We already know what he can do in Game 6 of any game, of any playoff series. I mean, but and the microwave that he is. But they were able to get the job done against OKC's Thunder, and ultimately we know what happened after that. After the Warriors beat the Thunder, and what KD did, and how he changed the game of basketball. But no, yeah. So then the Warriors meet up with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2016 NBA Finals. I'm sorry, and it was honestly battle tested.
I didn't appreciate last year getting to the finals, knowing that Kev was out for the rest of the season, and knowing that Kai was dealing with injuries all the way from the first round. But it's definitely a different feeling, having our team at full strength, and I appreciate this moment and be there once again.
Honestly, the whole way out, I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers were not expected to be in this series at all. It was just crazy how Golden State just kind of took over, especially the first 2 games. None of these games were necessarily even close. Each time a team winning was by at least 10 points, 10, 15 points, some by 20 plus points, some games. Especially, I feel like Golden State really set the tone starting off this series, coming in, especially with Golden State playing against the Cavaliers and knowing that LeBron is the face of the league, and really your team is set to dethrone him. So really, Golden State came out the first 2 games, played perfect, beat them by 15 and 24 points in Game 2, and then obviously Cleveland bounced back in Game 3, and really obliterated their Warriors and gave them a 30-point beatdown. But yeah, it was just crazy to see. And then we see coming back in Game 4, the Golden State Warriors come back and win the closest, not the closest, besides Game 7, what would end up being the closest game in the series, an 11-point win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And so that was good to see. And so it looks like that the Warriors had a commanding lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers, and no other NBA Finals team has ever come back from a 3-1 deficit. It's not normal. It's not normal. Let's not try to normalize it. It's not like something that we've been talking about every year. It's something that we always talk about every blue moon. Obviously, the suspension of Draymond Green, and everybody wants to knock that and say that if they would have had Draymond Green in Game 5, that Golden State would have won. And I honestly don't believe that. Kyrie and Bron were on one that night, both dropping 41. Nobody was stopping them. Obviously, that was one of his top, I would put that in his top 5 games of all time. And especially that was honestly one of his greatest performances by one of his teammates of all time as well. Kyrie really earned his stripes in that finals. And now you're a 73-9 team. You're expected to win, and now you're up 3-1. You blow 2 games. Now you're in your head. Now you're thinking, okay, weren't supposed to let them get this far. So what do we have to do to ensure that they don't win? And all Cleveland is thinking about is getting one more win. I mean, and against the hardest team at this point, nobody had won 3 straight games against this Warriors team, and nobody had won back-to-back in their home arena. So this was going to be the biggest challenge. And then a lot of these players for the Cleveland Cavaliers, every player that started at Cavalier Game 7, that was their first career Game 7. Kyrie Irving, Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, all those boys, Kevin Love, that was their very first Game 7. So it was like, what were we expecting? You know, what were we absolutely expecting from a lot of these players? And obviously, we know what LeBron can do. Obviously, he performs every single time in the Game 7s of any game, elimination games, especially since this Miami Heat era prior until now. But no, I mean, I already knew that, you know, killers like Kyrie and J.R. Smith, who really, you know, hit some big shots down in that Game 7, which was an ugly offensive game. Honestly, really didn't live up to the offensive hype. A lot of players couldn't get a lot of things going. Some costly turnovers, Curry and Klay Thompson. But players like Draymond Green, who had to go out there and get a triple-double, who did a 30-point triple-double. Like, when have we seen Draymond Green put up 30 points? But he just wanted it that bad. You see players of Stephen Curry, who wasn't knocking down shots that we've seen him normally hit. Klay Thompson missing shots, having costly turnovers. Andre Iguodala not being that spark that they need. So yeah, it was just it wasn't a pretty game. But you know, on the Cleveland Cavaliers side, 27, 11, and 11 from LeBron James just solidifies his career, just solidifies him as one of the best players of all time. With this win, and just the statement behind this win, because nobody was really messing with Golden State during this time. I mean, we got to remember, nobody was touching Golden State. Nobody was near their level. Nobody was near their level. And to see LeBron come out with a victory and Finals MVP, we know the story. The biggest underdog story and to prevail. We know. And not to go off topic, I mean, LeBron has been an underdog in a lot of these NBA finals, and that's what a lot of people don't get about his greatness. I mean, a lot of these finals, he came in as the underdog. So when he doesn't win and these people knock him, you have to look at the caliber of teams that he's been playing throughout his career. I mean, the all-time great San Antonio Spurs teams. The all-time great Golden State Warriors teams, and those were the 2 biggest teams that he lost to. I mean, we can knock him for that. Obviously, I don't care if you knock him for the Dallas Mavericks, because I don't even have an excuse for that one. Just not showing up. And then the first one, if you want to knock him, okay, he was by himself in Cleveland. Wasn't even supposed to be there, but got there anyway. But yeah, I mean, no, this really helped solidify his career. And this is one of my favorite stories to tell. It really helped him solidify his career. Really came back to Cleveland, delivered a promise, said that he was gonna win a championship. Really should have won it the first year, but we're not even gonna talk about that. And really just put on for the city, put on for Cleveland, put on for the whole NBA. To see a player really just go out and do his own thing, set his own mission, and actually accomplish that mission is just amazing. It just helps build on his resume. Golden State, they were the best team at this time. They were the best team during this dynasty, and the Cleveland Cavaliers were the only team to really knock them off. I mean, we could say that the Toronto Raptors knocked them off. Okay, the Golden State was playing with nobody. Everybody was getting injured. So if you want to knock them, okay, that's cool. But the Cleveland Cavaliers were the only team that really knocked them off while they were at their peak. And so we gotta respect that. We gotta respect this story. We gotta respect LeBron James, and we gotta respect what he was able to do, because not everybody can do this. A lot of people cannot do this. A lot of people cannot do this. It is so hard to play the best team of all time, and beat them 3 times in a row. Not a lot of people can do that. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's just that's just one of the stories I like to tell, especially from my perspective, and where it has helped LeBron in his all-time ranks. I know I've seen a podcast, Road Tripping, that said that he played in 2 of the hardest championships of all time, with the bubble and the 2016 NBA championship. And I'm gonna have to. I don't want to say I completely agree with that statement. Definitely played in 2 of the harder championships. Definitely 2 of the harder championships. But no, this is before I just start ranting. Because I know I can just start. The funny thing is, when I start now, my friends when I just start ranting, I really just say damn, I'm podcasting now. I've done this for so long now. It feels like when I go on a long rant, it feels like I'm just podcasting. So yeah, I now when I tell my friends, I'm like, dang, my bad, I'm just podcasting. But that's it for this episode of Ball with MTG, episode 27. We just want to give you guys a quick recap of the 2016 NBA Finals from my perspective, where it solidifies LeBron James and all-time rank. Yeah, guys, that's it for this edition of Ball with MTG. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this podcast, and we're out. Peace.